When you're dealing with somebody like Kenya Moore, you have to be on your toes at all times. You have to be as shady as she is at all times. And Sheree, I think Sheree, she's a little rusty, but Sheree got her. Sheree understands the game because she's been a part of it, obviously. And Sheree pretty much peeped Kenya's game and you know how she acts or whatever. And so Kenya and Sheree together, I think is going to be quite entertaining, very funny, because Sheree is not going to sit back and let somebody talk to them any kind of way and all crazy. And Kenya is the mastermind, and she knows how to create drama filled situations. So it's them two together is going to be interesting and quite funny, I think. So they created pretty much a bet. The person who moves into their house first cleans the other person's house. So it's gonna be funny. Are y'all team Sheree with Chateau Sheree? Or do you think the hashtag more manor is gonna be built first? Hashtag Chateau Sheree, hashtag more manor. You guys make the decision. Ew. So it's pretty much the opening scene. I saw most of it, but I was switching back and forth between the Real Housewives of Atlanta to the Soul Train Awards. So it was a few little moments that I missed, and you guys, my supporters, you guys, please help me out on anything that I missed or misconstrued or whatever. All right. So Phaedra and Portia, they're in the nasty store, and they getting different items, and Portia, she wants to she's having cyber sex with Dookie, her man Duke. I'm so sick of that damn relationship already. That fake shit. So her and Phaedra shopping, and Phaedra, it was funny because Phaedra had on the outfit that Portia would wear, and Portia had on the outfit that Phaedra would wear. But they both look great. Phaedra looks great. Portia looks great. So then, in sex shop, Portia trying on clothes. She ends up picking this glittery bra and this little schoolgirl skirt, and she does a little cheer. And Portia and Phaedra together are quite funny. Um, Phaedra didn't mention, she was like, "Look, I think that Portia is doing a little bit too much for this young lad, but if don't nobody ask me my opinion, then I'm not gonna say it." So, um, it's interesting that they have that relationship with each other when Phaedra and Portia can sit and talk about everybody all day, every day. That's pretty much what they do when they get together. They laugh and hee haw and touch each other's asses and all that stuff, but eventually ends up talking about the other girls and their marriages and how they are and all the and the drama that's in the group and all the different things. So, but they can't keep it real with each other. Like, how good of a friends are you, my dears? All right. So, let's see. Cynthia, she goes over and talks to Candy. Cynthia, it always looks cute. She comes over in this little flower dress. Her hair is slicked back. She just knows the right look and the right details for the look, the right hair for the dress that she's gonna have on, or the right shoes for the pantsuit she's gonna wear, whatever. Cynthia just got it. She's a model. She's everything. So she comes over and talk. Candy sitting up, fat, burping, and they're sitting there talking, and they get onto Peter and all that stuff, and Cynthia, she's very unhappy about that whole thing, and they also mention um Candy has fibroids or something, and she could possibly have surgery or whatever. It could possibly you know, possibly affect the baby. Hopefully not, but something like that. She was talking about something with Cynthia and her fibroids, and then Candy. But then they get into the fact that Candy and Todd, apparently, mostly Todd, wants to open up a restaurant, and she mentions that Todd supported me on the play. He didn't necessarily believe that it was good timing to open up a play at the time, but he supported me. I was there for him. He was there for me, and so I'm going to be there for him. We're opening this restaurant. So I don't know how Candy's going to do all this. And Cynthia was like, you know what? You really need to slow down. Everybody's telling Candy that she needs to slow down. But, something's going to hit her, and she's going to have to sit her ass down, and that's when she's going to sit down. You can't tell some people nothing. I have that same issue with friends of mine. And because they think they know everything, you can't tell anybody anything who knows everything. So you just have to sit back and let them hit something, and then God to sit their ass down, trust and believe. You sometimes you can go and go and go and go, but your body will let you know how tired you truly are when you finally sit down and can actually rest without any distractions. My God, you can be out for days. But whatever, you're going to officially kick off your shoes and relax your feet. Escape. All right, so Phaedra and Kim have like a little date or whatever. Either Kim came over to her house or Phaedra came over to her house, whatever. And so they send around and talk, and Phaedra's just pretty much trying to get to know Kimmy, not Kim Fields, not Tootie, not Regine from Living Single, but Kimmy. And Kimmy is just pretty much, she's so involved in her marriage and her kids, which obviously she should be, and her husband. Well, that is her marriage, right? Yeah. But Phaedra's also just like, look, you can't lose yourself in your kids and in your man. You have to have your own life. You have to have your own moments. And Kimmy just don't believe that. And Phaedra asked her, what's something that you enjoy doing? What makes you happy? She was like making lunch, and she started crying. And wow, where the hell is this? Is definitely not Regine, my God. This is it's just Kim Fields is truly a great actress because she's totally nothing like her characters. Um, but hopefully Kim Fields, she's working her way into the circle, and she's gonna figure out who's full of shit and who is ain't none of them shit. But you know what I mean. She's gonna figure out who she really bonds with truly. But apparently she bonds with Phaedra as of right now. But we'll see. Shady Faye Faye is what they call her. She's quite shady. Um. Okay. So Kenya invites the girls on this little boat trip moment that's happening. Um, we have Candy and Kim Fields. They ride in the car together, um, like on the way to pick up Portia and Shamia, Portia's friend, who was throwing shade at Kenya's party, Kenya's hot ass party. And so didn't nobody know that her ass was coming, but okay, I guess they're trying to work her in the Real Housewives of Atlanta somehow. So Kim Fields is talk. Kim Fields and Candy is talking, and we find out that Kim Fields don't like to wear drawers and all kind of stuff. So that purse is sweaty. So she fit right on in with Candy with Kenya shit last week, didn't she? My God, with the sweat coming from your head and the sweat coming from your ass. But all right. Some people don't like to wear drawers. Do some of my subscribers, my lovely supporters, guys? Do some of y'all don't like to wear drawers? Let me know in the comments. We'll talk. All right. So they're talking, and then they pick up the girls, and then of course each girl start talking about whatever. So we get to another car, and it's Kenya, Cynthia, and this girl named Tammy. I forgot how Kenya knows Tammy or whatever, but Tammy, um, a little bit about her. She has blonde hair. Um, I believe she looks like she could be black and like Asian or something like that. Um, she seems very messy. Uh, I don't. She's married to a white guy, I believe, as of right now. But she has a son who does music. And she's best friend with but what tied her into the cast, of course, was she's best friends with Sheree's ex-husband and the father of her two kids, Bob Whitfield. So I was like, oh, because whenever when she started talking, I was like, who the hell is this and why should we care? But I figured it out. Oh, she's gonna be on there to start some mess with Sheree. So this is Sheree new challenge. All right, since she's back, let's fuck with her a little bit. I get it. So they bring on Tammy. Anyway, Kenya, Tammy, and Cynthia arrives first. Kenya has the whole thing set up. The topless bartenders is very exciting. And Kenya looked absolutely gorgeous in that red dress, and Cynthia, all of them was doing it. So here comes Candy, Portia, Shamia, and Kim Fields. They come up. I wonder if Kim Fields had on drawers that day. But they come up, and Candy's complaining, and feet hurting and all that stuff. So they all get on the boat. At first, it was all cool. It was a little shade going on, but Shamil tried to hug Kenya, and Kenya was just like, hi. Yeah, I didn't invite her. So it was just like, that's a little awkward. I wonder why Portia felt like she could bring Shamia though. Or maybe Portia felt like she needed backup in case some shit pop off. You never know with a Kenya Moore event, child. So it was that moment, and so all the girls are turning up, having fun. Shamia and Portia go in the pool and all that. Portia is really trying to get along with Cynthia. She's trying to be there for Cynthia. She's hugging Cynthia. She's being a little much, but whatever. So Sheree arrives late. Um, and Sheree looks great, and Kenya Moore and her goes over and talk and all this and that. Um, let's see. A little later on, something happened as to how this got brought up, but all the girls are sitting around, and Shamia, she's up, she's excited, she's happy to be there, and Kenya just kind of looking at her. You can tell that something is festering. Kenya's just thinking to herself, how can I turn this shit real quick? So somehow Kenya was just like, I love this energy, this positive energy, but this energy wasn't as positive. The same energy that's here on this boat wasn't the same energy that was at my party. And like Shamia, you kind of threw shade in my product. And Shamia was just like, look, if you have a product and you have like teasers out, I was going to think as a teaser, not water. And Kenya was just like, yeah, but I didn't invite you and all this. And Shamia called her Miss America, not Miss USA. And that's Kenya's that's the tiki tiki boom. That's send Kenya right on off if you fuck up her title. Hopefully I didn't just now. But Kenya goes to tell the captain that she wants her ass off her boat. And then Canada was like, wait, like, don't do that, Kenya. Like, Cynthia, get up and go get your girl. Like, that's not right. Cynthia, go get up and get your girl. Get your best friend. And Portia them was like, yeah, girl, get up and get your best friend. Cynthia was like, okay, now, I get it, whatever. Because Cynthia was like, I'm not the only quote unquote best friends or friends with people on this trip. And Portia was like, who, bitch, or whatever, bitch. She kind of said it in a little snappy type way. Cynthia gets all offended, but I don't think she meant anything by it like that. But Cynthia get all offended. She get all in her feelings and gets all in Portia's face. Don't call me a bitch, and I got you a bitch, and don't do that, and this and that. They have to hold Cynthia back, and Kim Fields and Cynthia go and talk. And Cynthia was just like, I'm not going to be disrespected. Portia sits down. She tries to talk to her. She was like, I didn't mean it in that way. It don't seem like she meant it in that way, but I can understand a little bit how she might have took it that way because it's just a tone thing. That's why I be telling one of my friends, I'll be like, we can have a conversation, we can have a debate, a even heated debate, but it's just a lot of times it's just the way that you say things, it's your tone, like that throws people off. Like if you give me a pot full of shit, what do you think I'm gonna give you? You might give me cow shit, but I'm gonna give you shit, but it might not be cow shit. It might be horse shit. It might be chicken shit. It might be some kind of other kind of shit. But it's just like it's a tick for tat thing. You give me what I give you, but I'm always gonna give you respect first. But if you don't want that respect, and if you do something, then expect to be disrespected. It's just that's just the way it goes. But Cynthia's going through a lot right now, and so I think it was just a lot that was, weighing on her. But alcohol was involved. All them sluts was drunk, and so there you go. As to how that could possibly go down. Anyway, Portia and Cynthia, they talking, and Cynthia's trying to get it together. She was just like, I know people call you stupid, but I know you're not that damn dumb. There was both hands in both each other's face. Portia got mad. All of a sudden it cut off, and I believe Cynthia kicked Portia. We heard about that a few months ago, or something went down, but it's going to be crazy. The security guards is laying on top of Portia. She can't get up. It's just going to be crazy. Portia's always getting into some fights, and she always get held back. Like, it's just, I don't know. We're going to see fully what happens next week. And that was pretty much it, you guys. You guys let me know if I missed anything. I'm Mr. Chalaki on YouTube. At It's King's World on Twitter. Chase King was here on Facebook, and at It's King's World on Instagram. And follow me on Google Plus, y'all. I mean, all that good stuff. It was a lot. This episode was quite entertaining. I'm watching in detail a little later. But all right, bye.